Okay, so I'm currently climbing through platinum. I'm almost diamond, and I started noticing there were a few specific mistakes that were costing me games over and over. And it wasn't mechanical stuff, it wasn't really aim, it was more decision making, positioning, and just taking bad fights at the wrong time. Once I started fixing these, I immediately started winning more games, and games honestly started feeling easier. So if you're stuck in platinum right now, there's a really good chance you're making some of the same mistakes without realizing it. Mistake number one, fighting when the fight is already lost. This is probably the most common mistake I see. One teammate dies early and everyone still tries to fight. And I get it because in the moment it doesn't feel over yet. You think maybe you can get a pick or turn it around. But realistically, being down one player is a huge disadvantage. That's less damage, that's less pressure, and one less person taking attention away from you. Now, what usually happens is people hesitate too long. They don't fully commit, but they also don't fully leave. They just kind of exist in the fight and then they die late. Now, instead of losing one person, your team loses 3 or 4 and the enemy gets complete control and they push up, free space, all that bullshit. This is how stagger happens. Stagger loses games because now your team is respawning at different times instead of together. So try and recognize early when a fight isn't winnable. If your tank dies or you lose a couple teammates real quick, then immediately try and back up and reset. Just don't wait until you're about to die and then start thinking about, oh shit, it's my team's fault. You know what I mean? If your team loses someone early, start leaving immediately. You'll win way more games just by dying less, okay? Mistake number 2 is overextending after winning a fight. This is another huge one, and honestly, it kept me stuck for a while. You win the fight and your brain immediately goes into chase mode. You see low health enemies running away and you want to finish the kills, but the problem is, the longer you stay forward, the more dangerous it becomes. Because the enemies you killed are already respawning, and now you're the one that's out of position. So instead of holding the advantage, you give it away. I've lost so many fights just because I stayed 5, 3, 2 seconds too long. So what should we be doing? We should be stabilizing after winning. We should be getting our cooldowns back, preparing for the next fight. You don't step up into the space that you just earned. Don't chase unless it is 100% safe and they are one shot and you can 100% get that kill. Just remember, winning the fight is enough. You do not need to win harder. And just hold your position to make the enemy come to you. And mistake number 3 is being too far away from your team. Now, this is probably the easiest mistake to miss because it feels pretty normal while you're playing. You push a little forward or you take a slightly wider angle and suddenly you're alone. Then 2 or 3 enemies look at you and you die instantly. And it feels like there was nothing you could do. But most of the time, it was positioning. Your team couldn't help you, they couldn't heal you, they couldn't pressure the enemies attacking you, you were just too far. We should be playing closer to our team so that we can get help quickly, okay? Always have an escape direction, whether that be up, down, left, right. Try and have just something to get out. And don't put yourself in positions where you are completely isolated, unless you can 100% get that kill. And here is a simple question, just to keep in mind. If multiple enemies push me right now, can I safely get back to my team? If the answer is no, you're too far forward. Fixing this alone will reduce your deaths massively. And here is mistake number 4, using abilities too early or for no reason. This is another huge difference between platinum and higher ranks. A lot of players use their abilities the second they become available, and especially movement abilities. They use them to engage or deal a little extra damage, but then a few seconds later, they actually need that ability to survive, and it's not available, and they die. Abilities aren't just offensive tools, they're survival tools. Sometimes the biggest thing you can do is hold your ability and wait, because the enemy is waiting for you to use it. We should be using our abilities intentionally and saving escape abilities for dangerous situations and not wasting them just because we can. If using an ability puts you in danger and you have no escape afterwards, it's probably not worth it. Staying alive gives you way more value over time. And here is mistake number 5, panicking while taking damage. This is something that almost everyone does, especially under pressure. You start taking damage and your brain goes into panic mode. You stop thinking clearly, you run into open space, you forget about cover, and you just try to survive. But panicking usually makes things worse, because now you're easier to hit, easier to chase, and easier to kill. What we should be doing is slowing down. Remember to move to cover, not away. Move towards your team if possible, and don't make any sudden, desperate decisions that could cost you like your life or, the lives of loved ones. This is honestly one of the biggest skills you can build. Just trying to stay calm and playing safe will win you more games than trying to force plays constantly. So the biggest difference I noticed when climbing isn't really mechanics or aim, it's just making fewer mistakes. Not overextending, not taking bad fights, not dying unnecessarily. Once I started focusing on that, I started climbing way more consistently. I'm currently documenting my climb and everything I learned along the way, so if you're trying to improve and rank up, be sure to subscribe and comment what rank you are right now. I am curious to see where everyone's at. And that is going to be it for me today, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. I love y'all. See y'all. Holla at your motherfucking boy, man. If you guys like the video, please leave a like on it. If you didn't like the video, still leave a like on it. It's been your boy Infamous. Peace.